Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to Paws On Animation.
And today we're covering the first season of Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Perfect for Superhero Month.
Yes.
Now this show has been given a lot of hype ever since it was first announced. And now with this first season finished and a second one on the way confirmed, it's time to cover our thoughts on the entire thing.
And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and notifications will do some future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Absolutely. If you haven't already, be sure to watch our other two podcasts. Our first on the season premiere, as well as the first episode, and our second on what we consider to be the best 5 episodes of the series so far at the time that podcast came out.
Right. So, as you know, this was something we were excited for a long time, since the announcement early of last year, and we've been waiting for updates and things on it as they came out through Disney or through the producers and people behind it. And then it finally aired in February of this year, and we were just really, really excited to see it. We saw it on the Disney Channel when it aired live, and something we got to see it on Disney Plus, either as a binge watch when they drop more on there. But we watched it live, and we enjoyed pretty much each time we watched it. For they had 2 episodes for the first few weeks it was on, and then it went to 1 episode every week after the end of February. And then it ended, I think, about in May. I think it ended near the end of May. With a 2-part season finale. And they've already confirmed it's going to be season 2, possibly a season 3, but they're really going ahead and making sure this gets a long last since it's already gotten popular.
And that 2-part finale is a cliffhanger, definitely leaving you wanting to know what's going to happen and wanting and waiting for a season 2.
Right.
Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with this franchise, Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, the series was developed by Steve Loader, based on characters by Brandon Montclair, Amy Reeder, Natasha Bustos, and Devil Dinosaur by Jack Kirby. And it follows Lunella Lafayette and her dinosaur companion Devil Dinosaur. Her family is included. She has a best friend in here, unlike in the comic. It's based on. She's voiced by Diamond White. Lawrence Fishburne is an executive producer, as well as he does multiple voices. And the series regulars include Fred Tatasciore and Alfred Woodard.
Right. And the series has quite a few guest stars within it, whether it be Lawrence Fishburne doing multiple voices, especially of the favorite Beyonder, or we have cameos from canonical MCU characters like Goliath, a backshot cameo of the new Captain America. You have Maria Hill show up. They picked some very selective ones that didn't interfere with the canonical timeline. So they went with ones they could easily use that wouldn't be asking too many questions. And with each episode, I believe there are about 20 episodes. I believe 16. Okay, yeah. There's 20 next season. 16 episodes this season with an hour-long premiere episode, and each one is a little focused on Lunella's life as she balances being a superhero with a normal team, kind of like Spider-Man, Danny Phantom, and lots of other ones have done that. And in the beginning, it seems to be a little more episodic, but as the trope goes, it starts out episodic, then it gets a plot, and then it gets crazy, and then you're waiting for season 2 for it to be a large arcing story. So in the beginning, it's sort of, they wanted to deal with the things that teenagers deal with, and they aged up Lunella from 9 to 13, so it would be easier to have the target audience be the same age as her. And from the comic, her personality and demeanor were quite different. It seemed like they were doing something different in the beginning of the comic and then something different at the end, where she started off as really being standoffish, being a know-it-all, not very nice, not very sociable. And then the thing that was building up to in the comic was that she gets Devil Dinosaur and knows other superheroes and things. She starts to get friends and get better and learn she doesn't do everything by herself. Unfortunately, it looks like as the comic went on, they lost track of the arc they were building for her, and she unfortunately stays the same as she was in the first 2 issues throughout the whole story, and is written as if it's okay she's like this, it's the rest of the world that's the problem. But with the changes for the show, she has a much more upbeat personality, she's much friendlier, she and Double Dinosaur are more like besties and not just her and a pet.
And she's very likable. Unfortunately, unlike in the comic.
Right.
And that might offend some. I'm really sorry. We really thought, as Rascal was saying, that it was going to go a different route, but she doesn't learn anything by the end of the series.
Not really, no.
And how to deal with people and how to treat people with respect that she wants. In the series, they really had to make that change.
Right. And the animation, of course, itself is fantastic. It's done by Flying Bark Studios, who did Lego Monkey Kid and Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Glitch Techs, and they seem to be a real powerhouse animation studio for doing these really colorful, fluid, anime-esque animation for a lot of these shows that require high action and comedy hybrids. So they've been getting a lot of praise for the works, and it seems like every show they work on is pretty much a big hit. Regardless of what studio does, they are well received. So I will say that their redesigns and things did work well in here. There were a lot of changes that did work. You could tell what they adapted from the comic, with the best thing being the sleepover episode and they switched brains, which is probably one of the best things they adapted.
Yeah.
And they also feature a song, I believe, every episode, which is supposed to be intricate to the fight of the week, which also has the villain of the week. And as the story goes on, you start to get a bit of an upcoming arc that's going to get into season 2 when they do big reveals and everything. We don't spoil anything here, but it's definitely worth watching. It had a bit of a odd start. There were some episodes we did like and then didn't like, but as it got halfway through, we started to like more of the episodes that were on. And it looks like for this particular writing, they seem to do much better when they have a longer timestamp. When they were doing the hour-long episode premiere, the story flowed a little better, even in some cases when it went fast. But for the 20-minute ones, you could tell some of them were meant to be longer, but they were cut short, so the episode can go kind of fast depending on the type of shows you like to see. If you're okay with that speed, or you like it to be more of a slower build-up.
Definitely. So, I'm happy to say they did a really great job with the first season of this series.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't expecting it to be as fantastic as it was, honestly, since it was kind of like a fledgling.
Right. It's about characters that
Right.
most people don't know about.
And as we mentioned in our first podcast, we were a little stunned that she was not the same as in the comic, having not have read the entire series at the time we made that podcast.
Right.
But now, again, that we know how she ends up in the comic, making her friendly, making her likable, making her more accessible to a younger audience as well as those familiar with the comic was a good thing.
Right.
The changes they made, including having the dynamic colors and the music and so forth, were all great decisions on
Right.
their part. This is one of those rare times where you see changes and first you're upset because you're like, why did they make these changes? But this is one of those rare times you go, they made the right decision and
Right.
the changes they made for the series. As you mentioned, we had some favorite episodes. But the majority of them, the vast majority of them, have turned out to be really great.
Right.
Very looking forward to season 2.
We're just hoping that they stick to what they've done for the first season, but in the second season, because we've known Disney, like with Star and other shows, that they get to a second season and like Star and like some Netflix shows, they get to a second season, they change everything that they did the first one and make it a completely different show. So we hope that this show doesn't fall into that category and it just keeps the same entertainment and fun with the story, even if it gets more serious, as it did the first season.
Absolutely. And if you've seen Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur the entire season, Let us know what you think in the comments below. Did you love it? Did you not like it so much? Did you think it was not for you? We really want to know. And if you haven't seen it, it's available to stream on Disney Plus.
Yes.
You can't see it for free anymore, the entire series chronologically, but Disney does, the channel does air episodes every day, 2 at a time usually, and they're usually non-sequitur. So if you want to watch it for free, you'll have to watch it out of order, but you can watch it on regular TV.
Right. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and reviews of your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And the theme song, the intro, is fantastic.
Yes, you can play it over and over and over again.
Thought you knew, baby.
So, thank you so much for watching Rascal Entertainment.
Now, Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.